What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. This is episode 150. That's 150 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Big T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. Then I'm joined as always by my co-host Mara the Shark Watkins.
Hello,
How are you tonight, Mara?
I'm swell.
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 Just capital. Did I say Big T twice?
I'm not sure. My brain kind of glosses over when you start listing them.
You mean to tell me you don't listen when I name off all my titles? How dare you?
You mean you tell me you're surprised that I don't already zone out when you do that?
I'm hurt, actually.
It took me like 3 seasons to actually get the list down,
So you should listen every time so you never get it wrong again.
but I don't get it wrong. I have it written down.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Let that go for now. I'm going to try to let that hurt go. And I'm going to try not to cry on camera here.
It's not personal.
It feels personal. It
It's
feels
not.
very personal.
Trust me, it's
I'm
not.
hurt, Mara. I'm
I
hurt.
don't. I wish you weren't. That wasn't the goal.
Well, even if that was not your goal, madam, you hurt me. You
It's,
wounded me deeply. I never get your nickname wrong.
I only have one.
That sounds like a choice.
Yes, I like it simple.
Anyway, we are not here. Ooh, we are near. We are near. Really?
What are we near?
I'd
We're
have
not
no
near
idea what we're
shit.
near right now. I don't know. Maybe too much wine already. But we are not here. I combined the words not here. That's what happened. We are not here to talk about, my nicknames and how Mara doesn't care anymore and she just hurt my feelings. We are here to talk about the Arrowverse on the CW, that being, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman and Lois, all of them. So let's do that. Let's talk about them. And let's
Let's
move
get
on
into
from the
it.
fact that, Mara just hurt me. So where would you like to start first, Mara? I'll still let you pick even though you like wounded me deeply.
Sorry. Let's start with the Flash.
Interesting choice. What was the name of this episode?
Goodbye vibrations.
Yes, this was the Goodbye Cisco episode, folks. After this episode, Cisco's gone. Good old Carlos is no more on the Flash. Q Boys to Man. It's so hard to say goodbye. Yeah, he's gone. So
I didn't realize it'd be so soon and abrupt.
you didn't realize what?
I guess when celebs like say that they're leaving a show, I feel like I always anticipate that they leave when the season's over.
Mm, mm-mm. You just setting yourself up to get your feelings hurt.
I mean, I don't know. I just be feeling like things become so abrupt.
When you're no longer feeling fulfilled, you need to move on.
No, I feel that. I was just saying.
Because I feel like, what happened, what Cisco was saying is kind of reflective on Carlos, the actor, too. He was just like, I feel like if I don't move on, I'll end up stuck here.
On the CW.
Because honestly, I can see how that would happen. However, knowing how hard it is to get acting gigs for actors out there, if you find yourself a solid gig, I'd ride that motherfucker till the wheels fall off. But like that's just me. And apparently that's also Grant Gustin because he's like, I'm riding this flash train until the wheels fall off.
He's like, yeah, I'm good. I will miss Cisco, but I am good.
Candace Patton, same thing. Ride this Irish train till the wheels fall off.
Oh, because she knows no one else will like her because she's a Patriots fan. So
She's not a Patriots fan. She's a Cowboys fan. It's even
Cowboys fan,
worse.
either one.
Oh, that's worse. It's worse to be a Cowboys fan. At least the Patriots win. You cannot justify your obnoxiousness as a Cowboys fan for such a sorry ass team.
Touche.
Like, me being a Bears fan, when the Bears are trash, I acknowledge that the Bears are trash. Like, I know it. I own my shit. Difference being the Cowboys will go like 4-12, and they're about to win the Super Bowl next year. And they're just like,
Stop
sir,
it.
sir, sir,
Get realistic.
you were last in your division. What changed? Are we gonna implement new schemes? You got the same coach, the same players, everything. Nothing's changing. Your team is still garbage.
Garbage.
Epic garbage. Anyway, this episode kicks off because we haven't even started talking about the damn episode yet. Yep, it's gonna be one of them nights, folks. So, Cisco and Camille are telling everybody they're leaving. Cisco,
Finally.
yeah, Cisco's going to Star City to be a part of Argus, work with them. Camilla, what's she doing exactly?
She has an exhibition in Miami, I think.
Yeah, she was talking about Miami before. That makes sense. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, so after she's done with that, she's gonna meet Cisco in Star City, and they're gonna do their
Because he's
thing.
buying a place.
Yeah, he's doing his Argus thing. Um, and everybody's like, all right, good for you. We're happy for you, kind of thing. Um, there's a whole running theme here that Cisco thinks they don't care because of how they reacted. Um,
Yo, for a while, even I was taken aback. I was like, are they under some kind of glamour or something? Like,
See,
they
to
seem
me,
to be holding it together really well. I feel
yeah,
like,
and to me, it seemed like they were putting up a front so he wouldn't feel upset about leaving them. Like that's what it really felt like to me the
well,
whole
yeah,
time.
that's what I was kind of going in between. Sometimes it was just that they were so nonchalant about it. Like when Barry packed up his office.
That seemed kind of petty. Like that did seem
Yeah,
pretty petty.
like I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
like that just doesn't seem like that's how I was like I was in between. Are they under a spell or are they really just holding in all their feelings deeply? And it turns out it's the latter.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like you said, well, before that, Cisco was showing Chester all the room with all the old gadgets in it, like from past villains and things that were prototypes or things they just moved on from and all that. And Chester is just
Dark
like, yo, I have
Hives.
died and gone to gadget heaven. Um, but yeah, we talked about it. You just said it. Cisco had his stuff already boxed up by Barry. He's like, oh, what the fuck happened here? And Barry like, yeah, I got you, bro. But yeah, Cisco seeing all weird because nobody seems broken up about him leaving. He's just like, nobody cares that I'm gone. Okay.
Like what the fuck?
And then new bad guy meta who, honestly in the grand scheme of things doesn't really matter. Another mind control meta. She does euphoria shit.
She increases the dopamine and serotonin in the person's brain.
Yeah, yeah. So really all she's doing, you're making you feel real good. Give me money and I'm gonna take your money. I'm gonna leave. But she's really just doing a Robin Hood thing. And that's the extent of her story. She's really not all that deep. Um,
She even gets offered a job. She even gets offered a job referral at
yeah,
the end of
for
this.
economic development something, or yeah, with the mayor or something. Yeah. Um, oh no, like we got a lot of times Cisco's feeling nostalgic because he wants to work with the team one last time, and like Team Flash one more time, one more case. Um, He ends up getting, euphoriaized.
Yeah, I was gonna say Euphoria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's on that happy,
yeah.
as I
On that,
said.
super happy. Um, so yeah, he gets hit with that euphoria. Iris is looking for Camilla's replacement. She's having a hard time because she's being super picky. Camilla's like, yo, I'm gonna need you to chill because I wasn't even like this perfect when I first started. And she's like, I said, look,
And it was like, bitch, settle down in your
yeah,
britches.
acting like a fucking Cowboys fan. That's really what it was. Just what happened there. Like they're gonna win the Super Bowl next year. No, no,
Right.
they're not. Like, no, you'll never win another Super Bowl.
Mm.
Yep, I said it. The Cowboys will never win another Super Bowl. Never. Quote me. Never.
Please don't send us hate mail.
Send it. I don't give a fuck. DM me. Twitter and Instagram at Sir underscore Cussalott. SIR underscore CUSSALOTT. I want the smoke. Come at me. Surrounded by Cowboy fans down here, and I hate them all. Um. Anyway,
Lost your whole train of thought.
I did. I did. Oh, Cisco, he's all like high off the euphoria shit, ends up messing with shit, makes Flash run right into a van and some shit. And he gets the euphorized shit, he's all loopy now to the point where he's breakdancing in the lab.
Because he sped watch like 30 how to breakdance videos in like 20 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So like, does he watch the videos in high speed too? Like,
Yeah, like he can, it's like when he super reads, I guess he can super watch.
but videos play at the speed they play at. Like,
Oh, you're asking me questions that I don't have the answers to. I'm
I mean, I wasn't
sorry.
really asking you. It was more of me just questioning what was happening here. Like I can see the whole, reading things super fast, but videos play at the speed that they play. Like
I guess he can super speed watch. I don't know.
so like he speeds up the video. Like how does he do that?
He just scrubs it.
But when you do that though, everything doesn't play. It skips over stuff.
I don't know what to tell you, Travis.
Well, if you
I'm
don't
just
know, who knows?
I'm just offering suggestions as to like possibilities.
Well, you're not helping.
I didn't rate the show.
I didn't say you did. I just want you to help with me understanding it. And you're not doing that. And
But I
therefore,
can't.
you like this is
Look,
twice
I'm gonna
today that
tell
you've
you
hurt
when
me.
people ask me why
Twice.
things don't work, I'll be like, look, I'm not an engineer. I'm just here to replace your camera.
Doctor, not an engineer. Star Trek reference.
Oh
Um,
man.
by the way, like I'm getting ready to move soon. I was looking at a house today. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about whatsoever, but referenced in other shit. Um, in the downstairs area, there was a bathroom, right? Half bath downstairs on the house I'm looking at. But right next to the door to the half bathroom, there was another door underneath some stairs. And I was like, hey, there's Harry's room. And even if somebody really don't fuck with Harry Potter like that, I still got that reference. I'm like, haha, I know some things.
I'm proud of you.
I know Harry Potter was forced to live under stairs, and I know I'm a Slytherin. That's all I really know.
That makes sense.
And there's the game on the brooms with the little bug
Quidditch.
things. Yeah, yeah, I know that. And Voldemort. I know there's a Voldemort
All right,
and a
don't say it again.
Dumbledore. And Dumbledore
Dumbledore.
doesn't like Voldemort.
I mean, no one really likes Voldemort.
Why don't nobody like Voldemort? What
Because
Voldemort
he's
do to you?
evil.
Is he evil or is he just misunderstood?
Read the books. There's nothing to misunderstand. It's like saying Hitler was misunderstood.
Well, I would never say that Hitler was misunderstood. He just like exterminating people. That's different.
It was essentially about the same.
I don't know. I didn't see anything past this, like the first half of the third movie, because
I'm
I
just
was just
saying
like,
that
I'm
was
bored,
what
and
his process.
I was over it so quickly. I tried. I really tried, Mara. Like I watched the first movie, I'm like, eh. Then I watched the second movie, and I was just like, still, eh. And started the third, and I'm just like, I'm just not into this, and I gave up.
Maybe you should get high and try it. It might be a different experience.
Maybe, maybe.
Let's stop talking about being high because it makes me hungry and it reminds me that I have food coming.
I have pizza like this, just waiting for me to eat after we're done with this, and I'm like, I want it all. It's just
Salivating.
yeah,
Let's keep it moving then. Back
pepperoni,
to the
jalapeno
flesh.
beef sausage, and jalapeno bacon.
It's a lot going on.
Oh, it's so delicious with cauliflower crust, and it's just so good. Um,
Yay.
what were we talking about? We're talking about the Flash.
Yes.
Oh,
Barry's got the happy.
right. Chester comes in. He's got the little fixer light thingy, so he fixes them. They're all good to go. Um, then we
Barry mentions like, well, he'll be a super to Cisco that he'll be a superstar at Argus, and maybe they have something that they could use in art. And Cisco gets like all
don't even
hoity-toity
care
about
that
it.
I'm leaving. Yeah,
You just care about what I can help with.
yeah,
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 nigga, that was
yeah.
your job.
Yeah, this is what you're here for. You wanted one last case, so let's do this one last case. Be helpful, nigga.
All resources.
Yeah, you got more resources now, so yes, use those resources. It's Argus, like yo, Lila, help a nigga out. Like, is she still head of Argus, even though she did that fucked up shit with Crisis?
I don't think so.
Hmm, that's a good question.
I thought they said that well, because if she was still head of Argus, Cisco wouldn't have needed a recommendation from Lila. She could have just been like, yeah, you hired.
Makes sense. So what is she doing now?
I don't know. I thought they were like on the run or something.
No, they ain't on the run. Ain't nothing to run from. Who would she be on the run from?
I don't know. Lila's always doing shady shit. Like she's like the DC version of like Peggy Carter. I mean Sharon Carter. No. Yes, I was right the second time.
Yeah,
Sharon.
Sharon. Yes, yes. The power broker. Spoiler alert for those of you who didn't finish Falcon and Winter Soldier by
Oh,
now for
come
some
on.
reason.
It's been a whole month. Watch the show already.
Get your shit together. By the way, Loki's out now, so watch
I
that.
already watched it. Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably watch it after this is over and pass out before it's done. But I know
I
I
think I'm
already
going to
know it.
start watching South Park today or the Boondocks. No, the Boondocks.
Both very solid choices and both on HBO Max. So do you
Well, I was going to say, what South Park has way more seasons than Boondocks. I feel like
so much more.
I would get through the Boondocks
And
way
it's
quicker.
all solid. That's the thing. Like there are no bad seasons of South Park. Like just 100%. If you sit there and watch it all the way through, there are not bad. There are episodes that are just not as good as others, of course, but there are no bad seasons of South Park.
Yeah, like that. I think it was last season when they started with the Mexican Joker shit, and I was just like, "Cut the camera, stop
Oh,
it!"
it was
Like,
so good. It was
it's so
so
bad, but
good.
so good.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. Like, oh, this is so fucked up, yet so accurate and so
But
good.
yeah, like South Park and the Boondocks are like two shows I have not watched straight through ever.
Mm.
Like I've seen episodes, like mini episodes of South Park, especially like the earlier seasons too. But like I've probably seen like a handful of moments of the Boondocks. Like I don't think I've actually seen episodes of the Boondocks. So I think I told Logan I was gonna start that.
So, watch party.
Sure, let's get through this and we can do that while I eat my food and dry my comforter.
I mean, like with guests.
That's fine. Has she not seen Boondocks either?
I don't know what she's seen or not. You got to tell me.
Oh, Logan's not here, baby. I'm sorry.
Porqué?
Who are we talking about?
You're right. I'm just like, wait, Porqué?
Oh shit. Because she went to Mexico. She went home. She went on a bachelorette party trip
In Mexico.
in Cancun.
Has she arranged the stripper yet?
I don't know. I feel like she's just going because she's just showing face. We're recording a lot of detail.
I haven't said a name yet. This is you that has said names.
Yeah,
So
I know.
like I
Because
try to keep it as vague as possible. You're the
I
one naming people here.
I also treat this as like a conversation between you and that. Like not like a private one, but I also like when we record this, I just treat this as like we're chatting about the shows, even though I'm aware we're doing a show.
There's so many people listening. So many people are hearing what you say. I know you don't know the numbers because I purposely keep you all from knowing the numbers because I don't want y'all focusing on that shit. But like, so many people.
Well, now it's like keeping up with the Kardashians, and intimate about
But
them.
nobody
And
knows who that person actually is. So
this
it's
is true.
cool. Even though you said names. You haven't said last name, so it's okay. But I think if like people cared enough, they'd find out. But I don't think anybody who listens to us cares that much. But you never know. Which is why I don't say names. But you did.
I'm bad at that. Like I don't know why you do this to me. This is a
I didn't
setup.
do anything.
It was a setup.
I was purposely vague and you just eliminated all of that.
I didn't even catch what you said. Poor K.
Exactly. You said she was in Mexico and I said porque. I literally said why in Spanish because she was in Mexico. And you
No,
just
your
kept
poor
going.
K reminded me that she was in Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did I already know she was in Mexico?
probably. She probably complained about it to you.
You're probably right.
She didn't really want to go on this trip. Luckily
Mm,
enough, her cousin doesn't watch this, so I don't care.
mm. And I'm pretty close to Mexico.
Cancun, I think, is south though, so I mean, you still would have
Well,
some distance.
Mexico is south, period. So,
Yeah, but I'm talking like southern Mexico. It's not like maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really too familiar.
doesn't matter. What else happened on The Flash? Because that's what we're here to talk about. Why'd you let
Cisco
this happen?
left.
You're
I
supposed to be
don't know.
keeping me on track. What are you doing?
Rub my hands together. Uh, you asked.
Oh, I hate you so much. Move on. What else happened on The Flash?
Cisco left. Like
they
they
sang
stopped thinking.
karaoke though.
Yeah, the poker face, and
Poker face, poker face.
and the
Apparently
only
that's
shit,
Barry shit.
and it's Cisco shit too. And then
Cisco
Cecile,
saved the day with the blimp shit. He overrode the blimp and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely made it seem like Cisco was dying.
Yeah. And yeah, Cisco gives Chester all his tech idea stuff on a little, CD, SD card and shit. Um, yeah. Team Citizen says goodbye to Camilla, not Camille, Camilla. Um, but then we got Cecile. I think that's what happened. I was thinking about Cecile with the
Yeah.
with the weird mask face shit. And I was supposed to look this up and I forgot to look it up. So those of you who
We'll
know
find
comics
out
better
by
than
next
me,
week.
tell me who that is because I know y'all know. So tell me about how I don't know what I'm talking about at Sir underscore Cussalott.
That's not
SIR
Doom or something. I don't know.
underscore
I'm just making up shit.
CUSSALOTT. Apparently Mara don't know either. So either me or her tell us how we don't know what we're talking about and who that is.
Don't at me. I will argue with you on Twitter. Don't do
That's
it.
exactly why you should at her. At her now because she will argue with you. She's the type that'll argue on Twitter. I'm the type that'll be like, you're a fucking idiot, and I'll just ignore you and mute you. But she'll argue with you. You know who else argues with people on Twitter?
uh, uh, Matt.
Matt argues with people on Twitter. Yes, yes. And I just
I'm
be
starting.
like, why are you doing this? Why are you?
I'm starting to see more and more. Matt is just like a reincarnated old black woman, just unfortunately placed in a white man's body. Which is why he is so snippy at everything because he feels out of
is
his
the
skin.
host of the Smack and the Raw podcast. People, if you're a wrestling fan, check it out. But yeah, you might be right. You might be right. He very well may be the reincarnated soul of an old black woman in
The
a
fact
white
that he
man's body.
argues on Twitter just tells me enough.
The way he argues on Twitter is just like, yo, he can't let shit go. So it's just he'll go back and forth with you, which is part of the reason why every now and then, like John does it too, but I just like I'll poke at him because it's just like, what are we doing today? You guys going? Does this bother you?
Folks, the bear.
Does this bother you? We arguing now? Because I'm just gonna say stupid, outlandish shit that's gonna piss you off to make you keep arguing with him because it's entertaining. John does it more than I do, but we both do it. We're both very much guilty of this.
That was such a good laugh that my jaw hurts.
Yeah, but that was the Flash. Where are we going next? Because we were talking about the Flash for a good 30 minutes. So let's keep going.
But also not talking about
by also not talking about the Flash for most of that 30 minutes. So let's keep going and we need to move along.
Let's go to Superman and Lois. Let's just do Tuesday to Sunday.
This is a very, very interesting choice of order you're going with here. So what was the name of this episode? You've actually surprised me today, and it's very rare that you do that. I'm usually able to predict where you're going, but let's talk about this one. What's the name of this episode of Superman and Lois?
Royal Subjects, and that's subjects with a K, not a C.
For Kryptonian.
You figure out where that belongs.
Krypton.
Oh, that would make sense.
What did you think it was?
I had no idea. I was just like, what the fuck? Why did they do this? Because even in the captions, when Edge says that he released or has sent out one of their subjects, the caption said it too, and I'm just like, is this an accent kind of thing?
No.
Are we being
Krypton, my friend? Krypton.
You would think I'd remember we were watching a show about a Kryptonian alien.
You would think
his
so.
Family.
Miss Smallville fan, Yep. I called you out. Wow. Yup. You claim you're a fan of Smallville.
Your tide is coming in.
Yeah. Because my life is that dope. I got a beach in my living room. Because that's how I live. I put a beach in my living room, and I know that the K in subject stands for Kryptonian. Unlike somebody else I know who shall remain nameless, but she's on this podcast and wearing glasses and a bandage on her arm.
Wow.
But I ain't saying no names, though. because I keep names private, unlike somebody else
Oh
I
my
know.
God, shut up.
Oh man. So we kicked this episode off with Edge and creepy assistant chick with the red hair. What is her name? Do you know her name?
Leslie Lar.
Is that her name? Didn't they say that she had a different name?
Irma something with an S.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. So there's that shit. Also, Lois and the newspaper lady are trying to figure out why.
Chrissy.
Yeah, they try to figure out like why is he staying in Smallville? Like everywhere else he went, he was there temporarily and left, but he's staying here. Why? So it's investigation time, and Lois talks about why, how they're gonna do the investigating and all of that, and then they'll figure some shit out. Let's see. Edge has a meeting with new recruit lady. I think her name is Emily. Is that her name?
Emily.
Yeah.
Yep.
And puts her in the X kryptonite machine thingy. She just volunteers for it because he like I'll give you a better life and all that shit. Um, and then afterwards, like they get a little report like complete host acceptance. We find out later on is because they've had the X kryptonite there for so long, so the people there have been, exposed to it for long enough so they can accept it all and blah blah blibbity blue. Lana's been doing some investigating, just kind of keeping an eye on the folks that were put into the program. She says they're not really acting strangely; they're just happier. They have these little morning togethers, which are basically like breakfast meetings.
They have little powwows at the diner.
Yeah, yeah. I want to have powwows at the diner. We should start
Could we?
having
I love diner food.
we should start having powwows at the diner.
Let's do it. I love diner food.
You got to leave New York for that though.
Why? We have plenty of diners here.
But we got like Southern cooking diners down here though.
Do not pander to my weakness.
What deliciousness
No, just Southern food.
in a diner? You get the best of both. You love diners and you love Southern cooking. I mean, just bring your ass.
That's a commitment.
It is 100%, but it's worth it. Tacos, diners, barbecue, margaritas.
Excuse me. Back to powwow at the diner.
Yeah, that happened. Well, we didn't see that yet, but we go back to Jordan and John going to school, and the popular girl still making eyes at John because she wants that Kent.
That's the only one person whose name I keep missing.
Yeah, and Sarah even said it, but I didn't care enough to write it
She
down.
says
So
it every time.
yeah, she tells him stay away from such and
So
such.
and so.
So I'm waiting for the moment where John doesn't stay away from so and so and it bites him in the ass. But we don't know who so and so is. So once again, those of you who are listening, let us know what so and so's name is. Maybe we'll write it down, maybe not. Probably not, as far as I'm concerned. Like this guy, it's not gonna write it down because she doesn't matter enough to me yet. Um, that's funny. In my notes, I'm like, Sarah said, leave that trick alone. Um, let's see.
Clark goes to the diner.
Oh yeah, he goes to diner. Clark crashes the breakfast to talk to Emily, just to get some info. Right after that, there's a Mexico bank robbery. So you're like, I'm gonna stop the Mexico bank robbery.
Which was like, okay, were you listening in for trouble, or were you trying to listen on their conversation and just trouble overlapped it?
he has more control over it than that. I'd say he's listening for trouble. I,
Okay.
I would think he's always listening for trouble and looking for the most troublesome trouble.
Because
Like,
it was like, it felt like he went there with the mission to overhear what they were saying. And then it's like he went to overhear what they were saying as they were leaving, and then overheard what was going on in Mexico instead.
I think he like one ear was paying attention to them, and the other is like, okay, the rest of the world, what y'all got going on? Oh, they are robbing a bank with high powered machine guns. Let me do
True.
something about this shit. So he goes
I'm
down
not
there to the
saying that he shouldn't
rescue.
have gone and rescued. I was just like,
Oh, I know.
it just seemed like a weird process of events.
Yeah. So he goes down there to rescue, and clearly something is wrong. He goes down from the shots. He gets up and stops the robbery, though. Um,
He prevails.
yeah, he does, because he's Superman. He's got to prevail. But apparently, Edge has bought an ad in the newspaper Lois works for.
Like a bunch trying to get more recruits.
Yeah.
And Lois is like, nah, I'm gonna go talk to him.
And this is when we find out he's actually like putting Kryptonian consciousness into people. I'm like, damn. Like we
She
knew
like
something
calls.
was weird when they took Emily out of the little ex kryptonite machine, but
Mm-hmm.
like we didn't know like exactly what he was doing. Like, yo, he's putting Kryptonian consciousness into these people. Damn.
And it's just like she laid out his whole plan. He
John
was like,
Henry Irons was right.
she was just like, she laid
Partially.
out the entire plan, and he goes, okay, but how you gonna prove that?
But I say, you know all this. She pulled that Alonzo from training day. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
It's like at this point, you'll just look crazy, Lois.
Channeling his inner Denzel Washington. Now I gotta watch Training Day. Such a good movie. Um, so back at the house, Clark's all bruised up, and Lois is like, "Yo, what the fuck? You don't get bruises. What is this?"
Right? Never been, still has never been a sick a day in his life.
Yeah, and we find out that because Jordan and Sarah are at the piano talking and reminiscing, getting ready for the show, and they get all like close and shit, and then Jordan starts sneezing. He got to run away because he ice breath sneezes. So
Sneezing ice.
he got to get the fuck up out of there. He like, yo, shit, hey, dad, like I'm sneezing ice. I'm sneezing ice. And Clark like, oh shit, you sneezing ice. Let's get the fuck up out of here.
He's like, you're also sick. And it was like, that was really the symptom of being sick. I would have thought that was just meaning that ice powers were manifesting. But then they were like, nope,
He's
it's,
continuously sneezing, and that's the problem.
yeah, that, I mean, that was bad. But
Yeah.
like at
Yeah.
first, when
Yeah.
it
At
was just
first,
the
me
first,
too. Yeah. I was just like, so he got the
okay,
ice powers now. He got the ice breath. Okay.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then it turns out it's kryptonite poisoning that's possibly from last week when Clark fought Rossetti.
Yeah. So he got so Clark got sick from the kryptonite gas, and he passed that sickness on to Jordan, and now everybody's fucked because old man Lane is a dick. Um, but again, he's a dick, but I get it.
He has his reasons.
Exactly. And everybody's all pissed at him, but I'm like, but I get it. Like, he didn't plan on using those against Superman unless it was necessary to use them against Superman.
Right.
But,
And
but
technically, he still didn't. Some bad guy did.
exactly. And the thing is, like, if you don't think you should be prepared against something like that, you're a goddamn fool. Once again, once we finish Reign of the Superman, which we need to do soon, um, Justice League Doom is next because that touches on this very thing.
Okay.
Now, um, so yeah, Jordan's actually sick. He's gonna miss Sarah's performance, so he won't be able to play piano for her.
But they have no way to tell her. So, but then they take him off to the fortress because he's getting worse.
Yeah, his lungs is freezing up and shit. He like can't breathe and everything. Clark like, oh, we ain't got time for this nonsense, so we got to go up to the fortress.
Lois tells General Granddad, uh, "You're no longer welcome here, sir, because you're endangering my family."
So we got some other stuff with Lana in the happened at the office. She's asking Emily questions. She gets called in the Edge's office. He makes her an offer.
We don't
Um,
hear the offer,
well, we know what
but
it
we
is.
later, yeah, we later on find out she turned it down.
Hmm. Let's see. So at the fortress, like Clark's like, "Yo, computer dad, like, yo, well, how do we
Jor-El.
fix this? How do we fix this, computer dad?" And he's like, "We gotta do it the same way we did it to you before. We gotta burn that shit out." So
And
they
I was
like,
like, "That's gonna hurt."
so we gotta laser the fuck out of your son right now, and it's gonna hurt. He's gonna cry. You're gonna cry, but he's gonna get the kryptonite out of him.
It's gonna work.
Back at the house, Lois is just not okay. John's like, I know you're not okay, but this whole situation is just not okay. So, okay. Um,
We'll be fine. We'll get through it.
yeah. Then it's recital time. Jordan is not there, of course, because he's at the Fortress of Solitude getting lasered half to death. So, in
Kyle
his
steps up.
in his place, no. Who steps up?
Jonathan.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm not saying his name like that.
yeah,
You had me second guess my whole vision just for a moment. Because I was like, was it Jonathan then? But he doesn't play an instrument.
yeah, yeah.
They perform.
Who performs?
Sarah and her father perform.
What's her father's name?
I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
Anywho, Jonathan schools his grandfather on trusting his family.
Yeah, yeah. He's that, and I quote, I can never be afraid of my family. So fuck you and good night.
Right. Like, you do this out of fear. Like, I'm not scared of my dad. I mean, like, I am, but like, I'm also not scared of my dad.
You should be scared of my dad because he can break you in half. Cause fuck you, the way you be talking to him, like it's. I still feel that way every time I hear the way that old man Lane talks to Clark. I'm like, dude, you need to make this man respect you. Grab him by his ankles and hang him upside down from the top of the Empire State Building because he is not respecting you. You need that man to show you some goddamn respect. So, whatever it takes, hang him upside down from the Empire State Building, flick him with your pinky and make him cry. I don't know what you got to do, but do it and make old man Lane treat you with some fucking respect. He is far too respectful for you to be the most powerful being that the earth has ever seen. He acts like you can't kill him with your toenail. So make him realize, or remember at least, that you can end him whenever you want to. No matter what he says to you, no matter what he tries, no matter how much he wants to act like he running shit, he don't run shit unless you let him run shit. And you need to remind him of that. Right?
Right. Right.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, during the recital, Emily just leaves in the middle of her daughter's performance because Edge
Weird.
said activate, you know, not Wonder Twin powers. She just, all y'all activate.
I'm going to deploy a couple of y'all.
Three of them, actually.
Yes, I didn't realize he specified three until later on. I was like, ah, yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, it was her, this other bald dude, and who else?
Kyle.
Who?
Kyle.
Yeah. Anyway, then Lana calls Lois about Emily, like, yo, she's acting weird. And as soon as she says that, Emily and that other random bald dude who I don't know show up at their house. But old man Lane is there and he throws the kryptonite gas and he,
He was like,
immobilizes them.
get out.
I got this.
Imagine like thinking you about to do some shit and then you find out this gas is toxic to you. You be like, ah.
Yeah, didn't know they had kryptonite gas. I thought I was just about to fuck them up with my laser eyes and shit. Nope, nope, nope. Kryptonite gas.
So yeah, Lois and Jonathan, I think, run into Kyle, and he's talking about how he was following Emily or something like that because she was acting weird. It turns out he is the third soldier
Mm-hmm.
after he destroys some gun that Jonathan had.
Well, I saw that happen as soon as he left the recital, but we knew it was coming though, so it's only a matter of time. Then we
But
got
yeah,
Jordan and Clark having a moment, but then they hear what's going on, so like, oh shit, we got to go save him.
it's time to go home.
Yeah, Kyle tries to kill John, but Superman shows up and knocks him the fuck out. Um, we get some Lois and Old Man Lane talk. Cal talking to Lana. He's basically he's like, yo, I was at the recital, and then I blacked out. I'm like, yeah, you don't
You
have control of
drinking?
yourself
You
because
drinking? You drinking?
he drinking that Edge Kool Aid. That's all he was drinking. Um, Newspaper lady calls Lois like, yo, I got evidence. The people in Smallville are able to use the Earth kryptonite and merge with it properly because they've been exposed to it for so long, which is why Edge is still there. Turns out Edge is
That is
Kryptonian.
such a crazy thing. Yeah, that was another thing. And on top of being Kryptonian, he's fucking Clark's brother.
Yeah, he calls Clark brother. I'm like, wait a minute. There's
What
another.
comic does he got a brother?
Yeah, when did he have a brother? We chart new territory here. I'm with it. Okay, let's go. Unless he has a brother somewhere in the comics that I don't know about. If he does, and you all know, let me know in the comments. Right there. Talk about how I don't know comics again. Just go right there. Because that's what y'all like to do. Um, yeah, that was Superman and Lois. Where we going next?
Oh, Superman doesn't definitively have a brother in the comic book canon.
Okay. So this is a uniquely television thing. Okay.
Yes, because I googled it, and apparently other people googled it after yesterday's episode.
Naturally.
Yeah. Anywho, let's go to Batwoman.
Really? So you saving legends for last? Okay.
Yeah, I figure end on a less angry note.
Okay. Well, before we get into these actual episodes, we got to talk about the photos that were released recently of Cameron Johnson as Luke Fox as Batwing, because we know that Luke Fox becomes Batwing, so we've seen the photos of him in the Batwing suit now, so we know it's coming. We know they're gonna give it to us, and we know Batwoman is ending next season. So I'm hoping for a possibility of a Batwing spinoff. I know we won't get it, but I'm still hoping for it anyway.
Can only hope.
Yeah. He also wrote a comic recently. Well, that was released recently. I don't know when he wrote it exactly, but it was released recently. The Batman Urban Legends #4, which also features Batwing in it. So that's pretty fucking dope. Um, but anyway, this episode of Batwoman was called What?
Armed and dangerous.
So we kicked this off with a flashback to last week's episode where Luke is trying to stop this dude from stealing the car. He ends up getting shot, of course, like we know. Then we got a little deposition happening where a committee headed by Big Daddy Kane is questioning this asshole Crow, whose name I refuse to learn. Um,
Tavroff. I just wonder. It feels like it's so much work to be racist and hateful.
this one does feel like he went out of his way to be racist and hateful. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like the amount of lying and the editing, which I understand, to a degree is just covering their tracks, but it's like to then go ahead and call him armed and dangerous and da 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 da. Da, it was just like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like when Papa Kane said like he used to work for my daughter. He seems more of like a pencil pusher as opposed to someone with a gun. And when Tavaroff was just like, well, I don't know him. And it was like, you don't need to know him to not shoot him.
Yeah, that makes too much sense though. Yeah. Gun. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. He's
Mary and
clearly lying,
Ryan.
talking about what happened. Say Luke that Luke tried to shoot him and all that. Luke's getting taken to the hospital. Big Daddy Kane, like we need to see the body cam footage. You got Luke dreaming about his father and seeing Bruce. What were you saying though? I'm sorry, I think I cut you off.
No, sorry. It when no it like I cut over to like next with Mary and Ryan.
Mm-hmm. So they're talking about what happened. Mary's like, "Yo, we got the flower here, so we can use the flower." Desert
And
Riddler.
Ryan's like, I'm gonna find Eli.
Yeah, because she thinks Eli shot him, but yeah, she don't know.
She
So
just
we got Alice doing more digging, trying to figure out what's going on with Kate. Ocean walks in. Um, then we get confirmation. We kind of knew this just because of the name, but we find out Enigma is the Riddler's daughter. Um,
but I'm sure we'll never see.
yeah, they won't show the Riddler, but she like did a little motion to show like the mark on the back on her cane or whatever that she was.
The question
I
mark.
guess it was supposed to look like a question mark, even though it really doesn't look like one to me. But
Also, the way they were holding it looked difficult. Like made it more complicated. I could see it. It was just
yeah, but
it
until
wasn't the
Ocean said
clearest.
riddle me this, I'm like, oh, okay. She's the daughter of the Riddler officially now. So yeah, Batwoman catches up with the carjacker. He tells her what actually happened. We got Mary brewing up the flower to get ready to give her the cure, give the cure to Luke. I mean, Ryan now knows that it was asshole Crow that shot Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut though that Alice is in Wayne Tower just causing trouble because she's Alice, and she talks to Mary. She's like, "Yo,
Ask yourself why Black Mask is so interested in the Kane family.
yeah," and Cersei, like, just look into Cersei, who's not Cersei, we know, but
Right.
let's see. So yeah, then Batwoman goes after this asshole Crow, and she whoops his ass for a minute, but he
Feels
gets
like a setup. That felt like a setup.
yeah, she whoops his ass for a minute, but he knocks her in front of a moving vehicle, who was working with him, of course. He gets away. We get Alice and Ocean. They have their moment because Alice and Ocean. Um,
I love yous and whatnots.
yeah, Mary's trying to give Luke the cure, but we got crows blocking the door, not letting her in.
The gun that was, linked to him was linked to an armed robbery. And it was like, really?
That shit,
Really?
really.
Ryan, we get over to Ryan and she's telling um, Sophie that she blames herself for Luke getting shot because of all her jabs at him being privileged and all that other stuff. And he doesn't get it and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of reaching.
yeah, but that's when Sophie tells like, yo, we got to find the unaltered body cam footage from the feed because apparently the crows like altered the body cam footage to make it look like Luke had a gun. Um,
Which is crazy.
yeah,
Because I half expected the footage to be real, and I was low key taken aback. I was like, yo, these motherfuckers.
yeah. Let's see.
Oh, Sophie goes to see Papa Kane, and she starts talking about, you know, crows need to do better. And I was like, I wish she would just call the crows racist. Like, just say it flat out. Like the crows are
Yeah,
racist, and just exit stage left. Like, if you don't see what the crows are doing to Gotham, then you're also racist. And I would have just left on that note.
yeah. You know, she's still coming around, so we got to give her a little bit of time. She's figuring it out now, but it's just taking her a while. But before that, we see Luke. You know, he's talking to Bruce in his subconscious. He finds out he can either hang on and live, or he can let go and join his father.
And go see
Um,
him.
yeah, he got one choice. He can't even talk to him first. He's got to like even choose like, yo, I'm gonna live, or I'm gonna go ahead and let myself go and be with my dad. Let's see.
They get,
Sophie also plants a device on the Crow computer so they can get the footage and shit.
yeah,
But then,
so he can get into the system.
right, they're like, yo, we still gonna get Luke this cure. So they got Spider Wolf to go in there with the
Isn't it Wolf
fucking,
Spider?
yes, it is. But I like Spider Wolf. So Spider Wolf goes in there
That
with
sounds terrifying.
oh, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He goes in there and gives Luke the Desert Rose.
And while that happens, Papa Kane talks to Tavaroff and questions him.
It's a badge and gun.
Yep, until a full investigation gets is done, and then he gets knocked out.
Yeah, yeah, he attacks.
It just feels like too much work to be hateful.
Yeah, you got to knock out your own chief and shit. It's just it
Like
feels
there's
like
just
excessive amounts of work.
right. There's so many things happen that don't need to happen.
So much to remember. Like you got to remember where you locked them up at and all that kind of stuff. I just don't have the bandwidth. Um, they're gonna make him OD on the snake bite, but Batwoman is there to the
Like
rescue.
3 doses.
Yeah, she whoops everybody ass and then turns to Big Daddy Kane. He's like, "Yo, you need to just burn it all down because your crows are bullshit. They're doing
Look at
more harm than
all
good."
look at all the shit you've done. All I have to say about that fight was that no one really couldn't see her.
Hmm.
No one really couldn't see her when they were fighting.
No, they killed the lights.
Okay.
Why? What was your
I
issue?
know. I feel like I'm always looking at it from like an outside experience where I'm just like, I can clearly see all of y'all in this scene.
Well, yeah, we're watching the show. We need to see.
I know. It doesn't feel like it would be like that dark either, but I guess it's because they can't portray it. But go on. It's just me being nitpicky.
Okay. So Luke still hasn't woken up yet because he's still trying to decide if he wants to live or wants to go be with his dad. Um,
He definitely was going to let go. And he woke up.
yeah, we'll get to that in just a second because that was weird. They're Mary and Ryan are in the room waiting for him. Big Daddy Kane does a press conference where he's like, "Yo, I'm disbanding the Crows. I'll even testify to show like how fucked up they are." They're gonna throw out his testimony though because they're gonna pull out that snake bite shit. So
Of course.
we're
But
gonna
either
have that
way,
issue.
crows are done.
Yeah.
But then will the city be in better hands with GCPD?
Absolutely not. Let's see. Yeah, then we get that moment with Luke. She was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go be with my dad because this whole living thing sucks. So I'm gonna go be with my dad." But he wakes up anyway, which I don't understand. So I'm hoping we'll find out next week why he woke up anyway, even though he chose not to.
Modern medicine overpowered what he wanted, I guess.
Maybe.
And let's not really dwell on the fact that Bruce was over here talking to Luke about fairness. I was just like, please don't. I don't want to hear it from you.
I feel you. And then at the end, we got Alice going to Big Daddy Kane, like, "Yo, Kate's alive. We need to get her back." And he's like, "Oh fuck."
We're not gonna stop. So what is Papa Kane and so what now I see what Papa Kane's gonna be doing with his newfound retirement. What is Sophie gonna do now? Maybe she can go to GCPD and make them better.
Maybe. We'll see.
Next week's
Yeah.
gonna be weird. I don't remember what happens in the preview, but next week's gonna be weird.
Oh, it'll definitely be weird.
Let's
So,
wrap up with Legends.
yeah, speaking of weird, so this episode was all about Astra. She wasn't doing well, just living in the house. Shit's not working right. She ended up going to Crowley for help, and Crowley was on Supernatural, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it was a different kind of
Yeah,
Crowley.
he was just a demon, right?
He was the king of hell, yeah.
Well, he became the king of hell, right?
Yeah, so he was a demon. He was a crossroad demon, and eventually became a the king of hell.
Yeah. So anyway, Astra just living her life. She ain't got no money though.
She ain't got
She
no job.
Yeah, she living in Constantine's house, and he got racist neighbors. There's some brief moments of Constantine and Zari, like, "Yo, we about to fuck right now, so we ain't got time for you, Astra." Astra can't find a job. She's miserable. She's annoyed because Constantine won't do stuff around the house, like fix shit that's broke.
She keeps asking for help. He keeps giving empty promises.
Yeah, she ends up just looking through shit, goes up to the attic, finds her mother's journal, but also finds Aleister Crowley. Apparently, he was trapped in that painting by Constantine after Constantine was done with him because fuck Crowley. Let's see. He's like, "Yo, I'll teach you some magic and shit." So they do that.
He teaches her how to swap like things physically. So he so she swaps Alistair Crowley and Constantine in the photo or the portrait so that Crowley can continue to teach Astra magic for a few hours before she swaps them back.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sarah's meeting the head alien in charge. His name is Bishop.
Bishop is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, yeah. She's still like, fucked up from the poison and everything, but he gives her the antidote. But then she passes out, wakes up in a little weird hospital bed. Apparently, Bishop created the Avas.
And his and her Ava is or our Ava is like his best achievement.
Yeah. Um,
The things that he's talking about when he says I'm going to save all humanity, and
Restart humanity.
I was like, that's sounding pretty Thanos like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's want to brainwash them all. Thanos just wanted to wipe half of them out. I'm not sure which one is worse. Um, let's see.
Yeah, he's trying to change everyone into hybrid things,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's
Apparently Sarah's there to be his partner, so he wants to like breed with her, I guess, or something. I don't know. And then like,
yeah, it's hard trying to catch the vibe of what he means by that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. But he also wants her to train people to make him, badass because she's, a bad motherfucker.
yeah,
Um, let's see. Got some of Astra learning magics. He switches Crowley and Constantine in the painting. Tries to take the Ava nurse lady hostage, but it's hard to take somebody hostage if they don't give a fuck about their own life. So
Jesus, she was like, I'm disposable. He
Yeah.
would just make another one of me.
Apparently Crowley got plans. They get thwarted eventually anyway, but he has plans. Legends is showing up at the house. She goes Beauty and the Beast on him, turns him into household shit. Um, Crowley starts teaching her more powerful magic, and she's like, "Yo, I need a live soul for this magic." So she grabs the first racist neighbor from earlier in the episode, and she didn't take his soul though, which I'm like, you probably should have just done it.
Yeah, like
Um,
what betterment would he have had for the world?
yeah, he's one. I'm like, yeah, the world is a better place without you. So yeah, but she
Cause
doesn't go
nigga
through
was
with it. But
nasty.
Crowley does. He takes this man's soul, and he just becomes super powerful.
And he
She
takes her
can't.
amulet.
Yeah, and she can't send him back now because he has that amulet in the spell. Um,
And then there's a thing where he just turns everyone into a cartoon.
yeah, into a Disney cartoon. That's really what it looked like to me. Like, oh, so he turned everything Disney. That's weird. Um, and locks her in the attic. Constantine's up there though. He's in the painting. He tells her about the cleansing spell that her mother created. The spell is some kind of song, so she has to sing it. Let's see. Yeah, it ends up it works, and she locks Crawley away again.
She's like,
But
how can I finally read music? He was like, love, every cartoon princess knows how to sing.
yeah, yeah. And it turns out though the spell also took away Constantine's magic, so he has to start over with his shit. Um, but then we see when Sarah's trying to get up out of there, the little Ava nurse actually set her up, which I'm like, yeah, this is a setup. Um, yeah, Bishop just needed the ship so he can get the DNA samples from all the little aliens that were on there.
Hmm.
Sarah
He's
fights,
like,
but
I don't need the bodies. I just need this.
yeah, it's better if I have the bodies, but I can still do it with just the DNA. Sarah fights back, ends up breaking his neck, but she still gets tranquilized, or whatever it is, and because Bishop is still alive now, and I guess he she's injected with Bishop, and Bishop is in her head now somehow,
Yeah, I
or
don't know. Shit was weird.
it was, but that was Legends. That's the end of Legends. That's what happened because Legends is Legends. Samara, who's winning this week? Because that's all the shows.
I guess I low key wanted to say Gotham City because crows are gone, but then left at the mercy of GCPD, which is no better.
I was gonna say Cisco because he got his final goodbye. They get karaoke and all that kind of shit. It was a
Yeah,
happy time.
I'll say Cisco because he got a happy ending.
Who's losing though?
Um, kind of want to say Clark.
Why Clark?
I wouldn't want to find out I had a brother who's over here making a fucking army of my family
This is true.
or of my constituents.
I feel you. Mm, for me though, mm, losing.
It's not like anyone's directly losing this week anymore. It feels. You know what I'm saying? Like people had like some roadblocks, but no one's really losing.
Yeah, not like seriously or epically really falling here. Um, huh. I had it in my head and then I lost it. Had a reason and everything.
Remember what show?
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, so I'm trying to remember, like, what was I thinking about when I said this person was losing? Mm-hmm.
Do, 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 do,
I'm gonna go
do,
with
do.
Jordan
Yeah, I mean, being laser beamed by a lot of things is
because he
pretty
was
shitty.
dying and also losing like his, Sarah stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that's everything. That'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Do not forget you can find us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. Once again, as always, if you don't know how to spell world, get your shit together. I've already told you where you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram, though. That is at Sir underscore Cussalott. That is at SIR underscore CUSSALOTT. Sharknado, where can they find you?
always on Instagram and Twitter at Mara the Shark. That's MARADASHARK.
Also, subscribe to the Patreon, folks. We got good stuff there, some early access to stuff, exclusive stuff there as well. You'll see the different tiers as well. But also, if you're a gamer, do not forget. I mentioned this on the Smacking the Raw podcast last week. Creation Conversation is back this starting this weekend, but this is a Creation Conversation special. It is our E3 coverage. It'll be me and the new face of Twitch, Kobe Pointer, covering all of E3, all of the video game news that's coming this week, starting Saturday each night through all the E3 coverage. Be a lot of stuff, be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. So check that out. I think that's it. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Please.
I think that's all, though. Anything else?
No.
Cool. If that's it, we'll catch you all next week. Until then, we out.
Bye.